Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play episode. I think today we need to work on this area because right now we've got villages, we've got farms, we've got stone generation, but we need proper wood generation. So I want to build a tree farm and a lumber mill. And then from the tree farm, we'll have everything we need to build our final project up here. But I think what I want to do for this, I want to maybe terraform this area a little bit. We'll have like a little mill, a bit of a chopped down tree area, maybe a couple village houses around here, coming down this street, all leading down underground to our massive automatic tree farm. So the very first thing we need to do before we can even do anything up here is deal with the tree farm itself. And because it's such an ugly farm, I think I'm going to do what I did with my sugarcane farm and I'll dig a big hole underground. And I'm thinking maybe about here. And we'll dig fairly deep so we know we'd have plenty of space to work with. That's always good. And I think that should be deep enough. I guess we'll find out the hard way. And we're going to need a 15 by 15 area. Right, there we go. So something like this I think will be enough space. I might just extend it a bit more just to be on the safe side. However, now we just need to take this the whole way up. And I think first things first, I'm just going to grab a beacon. Right, let's get this placed. And then we just need to place our beacon, place that there, haste 2, and there we go. And it definitely works. So now we just need to dig this hole out all the way to the top. Right, so I've dug my hole, but I've got a bit of a problem. It's not actually deep enough, and it's all water down here, which means we're going to have to either fill in all the water or get some sponges or something. So I think I'm going to use what little stone I've saved, even though there's loads more here, and I'm just going to pillar down to where I need to. And then once we've done this, I think I'll head to an ocean, maybe try and find like a monument or something, and kill the only boss that I've not done yet, which is the Elder Guardian, and get some sponges. All right, there we go. This is so much better. So I think the plan is now then, like I said, I'm just going to quickly repair my pickaxe, and then we are going to head to the ocean and find a monument. We need to try and get out of here first. All right, and let's get this pickaxe repaired. So we hit our dummy, and the rest is history. We're almost there. We might as well do the rest of our tools, to be fair, whilst we're here. And just for the shovel, and just for the axe now. There we go. That's everything. So let's go find this monument. We just need to fly around the ocean just until we can find a monument. And it's quite a big ocean, this one, so I'm hoping we'll find one.
One eternity later.
There we go. We've got eyes on the prize. All right, here goes nothing, and we've already got mana fatigue. Right, let's find that Elder Guardian. Wow, it's been a while since I've been in one of these. Oh, I found it. Probably should have put a chest plate on for this, actually. And we're almost out of oxygen. Thankfully, I brought a couple of doors that I can't mine. I didn't think about that. Where is he? That's one, and we've got a singular sponge and an armor trim. That's one sponge. However, I need a lot more than one. And I have got no clue where I'm going. Oh, I found one. I'd have thought these would be a bit harder to kill, I'm going to be honest. But I'm not complaining. That's a second sponge. And now I have no idea where this third one is or how to get to it. Oh, wait, is that it? There we go. There's the third. And now I thought there was meant to be a sponge room somewhere. So we're going to defeat this. And then we're going to have a look for the sponge room. Oh my god, that's if we don't die. It's swimming away. It's scared of me. It's scared of me. Or maybe it's on my knockback, actually. Right, let's get it over with. There we go. And part of me wishes I came more prepared and brought some milk, but oh well. We now just need to swim around until we can find the sponge room. Why are these places so confusing? Ooh, our miner fatigue's gone, so now we can just start making shortcuts. Not that way, though. Ooh. There we go. Let's take all of these. Let's get these sponges, then let's get out of here. Right, let's get out of here. Oh, very quickly because we're about to die. Oh, close call. So, as far as I'm aware, I think I can just place these sponges in the nether and it just dries them out instantly. So let's give this a shot. Oh, it works. That's pretty cool. There we go, 29 dry sponges. So let's go put these to use. And then we just need to keep repeating this process until all this water is down there. Alright, this is looking much better. So we've got a big enough hole now. So we just need to put a tree farm in here. So I'm going to go grab an empty shulker box and let's get some materials. Right, we've got 2, which should be plenty. And I'm hoping we should have most of these materials just from past projects. So let's have a look. We'll start with our building blocks. So let's get some scaffold. We'll grab some wood, a couple of redstone torches and some cobblestone. We'll take this quartz because we're going to need to make some stuff with that. But let's have a look. What can we make? We can make some repeaters and we need 5 of them. We need 5 observers. Let me just find some iron. And we need a few pistons, 3 to be exact. 2 pieces of obsidian. There's 1 there and 1 there. A few signs. There we go. So that's pretty much everything we need. I'm just going to collect the final few pieces and then we'll get started. Right, so we're back, and as you can see, we've built the farm, and I'm gonna be honest, that was one of the most painful farms I think I've built yet. So as you can see, we've got a TNT duper, which drops down and chops our trees down for us. So if we come down here, I've got a little elevator. We've got the world's worst interior. We've got our switches, so if I turn it on, I'll grab some oak saplings. Theoretically, if I just click really quickly, oh, it works like a charm. I can feel the wood flowing in already. At least we know it works, so I'm gonna dump all that back in there for now. And that in there. So I think the plan is now I'm going to AFK at this for a little bit and then we'll regroup and we will deal with up here. Right, so we're back and as you can see, it definitely works. We've got plenty of oak, spruce, birch, and there's even more coming through now. So I'll just take 3 of each for now because I want to start working on up here. I think the first thing we're going to do is flatten this whole place out, definitely cover that up, and then we'll build like a lumber mill, a couple of houses maybe, and just decorate this whole area. Right then, so I think the plan for this is we're just going to start by taking out this whole hill, and we'll probably layer it down to about maybe this level. And then we'll just restart because, yeah, this is a big problem. So let's put our shovel to use. Right, as you can see, we're making swift progress. I think we're just going to finish this bit up, and then we're going to jump into a time lapse, and I think we're going to start smoothing it out and see where we get to, and then I might end up taking out some more of this hill. Yeah, I think that might be necessary. But yeah, let's just get into our little terraforming time lapse. Right, so we're back and we've finished, and I am an idiot. I've gone to end my time lapse, and I've just realized I didn't even start, so that's a bit of a pain. As you can see, we've just sloped it round, nothing too special, and it just gives us a nice empty canvas to work with, and it's a lot better than what we had. So I think the plan is now to just remove that beacon, and then we can get working on a main structure. I'm thinking we'll have like a structure about here, and then maybe like a secret like little rock or something hiding in this entrance, be a tent, some chopped down trees, and then maybe like coming over this way, we'll have like a few houses where the lumberjacks might live. I'm just going to dump my inventory, and I am going to remove that beacon. I know I can't bring the video back, but the best I can do is provide a nice video of the grass growing. Right, so I think the plan is now we've got this bright and vibrant green space, but it's empty. So we're going to first run a path down, and I'm going to plan where I want some buildings. So let's clear my inventory. And for the path, we're going to use the same materials. So we need some coarse dirt, some packed mud, and some mossy cobble. So we need some wheat, we need some mud, coarse dirt, and some mossy cobblestone. And by crafting those materials into some packed mud, we should have everything we need for the path. I think we're just going to run it along down here, and then we just need to fill it all in with our mud. And I think that shape works nice enough. Then we just need to chuck our mossy cobble and coarse dirt on. So that's our coarse dirt on, and we just need to chuck some mossy cobblestone on now. Right, there we go. So we've got a nice little initial path, and I'm thinking we'll just be able to put a few stairs leading up to our lumber mill. If I just dump all these materials in here, and I'll grab some for our lumber mill, then we're just going to jump into a time lapse, and we're going to get the basic structure done. Right, so we're back, and we finished our little sawmill. The only thing we're missing is a bit of an interior, so we're going to do that. As you can see, I've kind of just hidden the entrance to the tree farm behind some pots. And as we come inside, we've kind of got like a little balcony overlooking our tree farm, which I think is pretty cool. I have just changed the blocks so it looks cool. I think as soon as I've got them in my inventory, I'll start off with my plants. And then we're going to place some storage blocks just inside. There we go, something like that works. And then on this side, again, we'll do something similar. All right, there we go, and I've just chucked a few pots, and that's that bit complete. However, now my main focus is out here. I think out here, I want to give off the proper sawmill vibes. I might add a couple of stone cutters, a bit of sawdust, things like that. So first things first, we need to actually make a couple of stone cutters. So let's just make 3, and I think I'll build this here, and then coming out on the other side, that's where we'll have like sawdust, stuff like that. Nice, okay, I like that. I do want to keep a bit of space just so we can get in and out. Place a couple of barrels, why not? I think I want to do another one of these, but with a different wood, like that. And then I think like a log stripper could be cool, maybe here. All right, I think this is looking pretty good. There we go, I think jobs are good. So the main sawmill's done. I now want to expand down here and work with this area because obviously it looks a bit desolate right now. So I'm thinking to prevent that, what we'll do is we'll make this area look all worked on. So we'll use some path blocks and coarse dirt. And I'm thinking to build loads of different like custom tree stumps. So it actually looks as if it's been chopped fully down. So let me just clear my inventory and get some of my coarse dirt. So I think the plan now is to just texture this whole area. And then we'll come back together and we'll plan some tree stumps. Right, so we're back. And we've been busy. So as you can see, we've textured this whole place with coarse dirt and path, just so it looks kind of worked on, chopped down, stuff like that. I also got a bit excited, and I started to just build a few custom trees just to outline the area, just so I know what we're working with. Right, so now that we've got this, we've got the lumber area, but we don't have lumber itself. So we need to build a few of these trees, sparsely dotted around the edges, and then we need to kind of blend this forest into just tree stumps. And I'm also thinking what I might do like around here is like a little tent with some more sawmills or something, and then maybe we'll do like a tent, a tower, something like that. But number one job right now is trees and stumps. Right, so I think we're going to start with the tree stumps, and I'm just going to take all my materials that I'll need. Just going to run and get some diorite quickly. Right, we've got some diorite, and I somehow died in the process. I'm thinking I'm just going to start by marking out with big spruce logs where we want actual trees to go. And like I said, I don't want too many. All right, that's fine. So we'll revisit that later. Now, in terms of tree trunks, let's think. Something simple always works best. So let's start here. And I'm just going to do a nice, simple shape. There we go. Literally something simple like that. It just looks like a nice little tree stump. And then obviously, because we've got smaller custom trees, I will just do like a few walls and a fence. There we go. And I just need to scatter things like this everywhere now, so that it looks like a dense forest was once here. Alright, this workspace looking a lot busier. As you can see, we've got plenty of tree stumps with the idea of it just looking extremely messy. And there's one more thing I want to do actually. I've got some saplings and some string, and I'm thinking, if I'm placing them just round in bits like this, it looks as if they're just trying to regrow the place. Obviously, by putting string on it means they won't actually grow. I just think that makes a lot of difference. And it adds a bit of colour, which is nice. So the final thing I want to do now is convert these spruce logs into a few little custom trees. Alright, there we go. So we've just chucked a few trees on. And the final thing now I want to do is just add like a little tent, just to add a bit more space for the lumberjacks to work with. And then this area is done. So I think that for the tent, we're going to start off by just doing a couple of poles. And then we need to chuck a bit of a canopy on it. We're going to use birch slabs for that. And I think to slope up to this side, we're going to use some stairs. Then we'll do some inverted ones. And then we just need to slope it right back down. So I'm thinking some more slabs here. Perfect. So that's our little tent. Then we just need some more tools. So I'm going to start again with a nice log being chopped into pieces. We'll have a few pots and pans and a bit of log storage to finish it off. I think this area is coming along really nicely. I think the final thing we need to do to conclude the area is just a little cobble wall like we've got going on over here. Just coming along up here to kind of fence off the worked area. And then we can work on some lumberjack houses. If I just go and grab my tough and mossy cobble, right, that should be enough. And we'll start with just basic shape as to where we want it to go. And then like normal, we just need to chuck a bit of shape onto it. There we go. So with this wall, we're now finished with the lumberjack area. But they don't have anywhere to live, so we need to use this empty space and transform it into a nice little living area. So like usual, the very first thing we need to do is get some wool and plan where we want to build what. I'm thinking we're going to have a nice big chubby house about, say, here. And I think I'm going to do a very similar style house to the farmhouse, which we've got all the way over there. There we go. So there's one there. And then I'd like to do something along this side. So nothing crazy. And then maybe here, like a little boathouse or something. So we've got 3 houses we need to build. So let's just grab some wood. And let me just have a quick look at what we did over here. So we did like spruce and sandstone. And I'll tell you what, I think for this, I want to try something slightly different. I want to use my brick and granite and just get a bit more colour on the roofs. So I think we'll do obviously our spruce beams, our mossy stone brick foundation, and then I think we'll use sandstone and then a brick roof. So we just need to obtain all their materials. I think there is definitely something we're going to need to do before our final episode, and that is definitely build a big storage room because this is a right pain. So we've got the wood and we've got the mossy stone brick. However, we don't have any sandstone, granite, or bricks, so we need to obtain some of that. So it's looking like we're off to the desert. Ah, the trusty old sand mine. Well, I guess we best get digging. Right, I think that should be plenty for sandstone. We just need to smelt all of that later on. So we need clay and we need granite. So I think in terms of clay, it might just be worth flying around the ocean to see if I can see any. And I've got a silk touch, which might be a problem.
1 eternity later.
That took a lot longer than I expected, but we've got a bit of clay. So what I might do actually, before I go down the mine to get some granite, I might just chuck that into the furnace and let all this get smelting. Otherwise, we could be waiting around a while. Right, so that's all smelting. So then we're just going to head down to iron level and hopefully find a bit of granite somewhere. We don't need as much as we do brick, but we'll grab a nice amount. And as long as we've got haste, there shouldn't be a problem. I think that's plenty. So let's head back up there and hopefully our smelted material should be almost ready. And I'm running out of inventory space, so we're going to grab a shulker on the way back. All right, we're looking complete. And we'll just craft these into brick blocks. So in terms of these houses, like I said, we're going to have a lumberjack house, maybe a boathouse, and probably like a storage house or like a stable or something. And I think we'll start with a lumberjack's house. And I'll replace the wool with a nice little outline with a mossy cobblestone. There we go. So something like that. We'll just remove all this grass. And I'm just going to fill this all in with my spruce quickly. In terms of log support, I think we'll just do a very simple one in each corner to start with. We need to strip all of these. Got some smooth sandstone on. We'll worry about a door in a minute. And I've just got some spruce signs because I want to go the whole way around and put some wooden beams across. Much better. It's a shame we can't do anything about these corners, but we'll just have to live with that. We might just cover it up with like some bushes or something. And then from here we can get our kind of roof shape made. And there we go. A similar style shape to the farmhouse. I'm not too keen on the window shapes though, so I might just remove these. But I'm just going to bring this roof back the whole way and repeat that exact shape on the other side now. Right, there we go. So we brought that across. I want to do something similar on this side now. We'll just bring these 2 pillars up. Right, I'm having a play and I'm not too keen on this still. So I think I might take that out, replace that. Same with here. And you know what? I quite like that actually. I'm now just going to repeat this on that side. And then we need to chuck a door on and then we're almost done. Right, so we're back and I'm liking this. And I'm thinking now we just need a door here. Ah, that works. The final thing I need to do is just texture this roof with our granite. You know the drill by now. Nothing special, just chuck some random colours in. There we go, that's a lot better. And I've just chucked some jungle in for a bit more colour. And I'm liking how this is turning out. So I think that's house number 1 done. We'll come back to the interior after we've done the other 2, I think. Wait, hold on. I'm forgetting one thing. There we go.
A chimney.
So without further ado, let's use the rest of our resources and let's do these last 2 buildings. There we go, so we're back and we've done our houses. And I think this just completes the area a little bit. And as you can see in my hotbar, I've got a bit of grass and a few leaves. So we're just going to texture this place up and then we'll do the interiors and then we're done. I'm just going to chuck a few lights on so mobs don't spawn. Then we need a few bushes. And then I'll just chuck a bunch of grass on. Interior-wise, what I'm thinking is, I think we'll do this one and then we'll worry about the other 2. And I think this one's just going to be a little storage house. So I'm just going to get some more wood and we'll put a floor down on this. Then we need to deal with kind of this messy roof. There we go. That's much better. So the final thing I want to do is just chuck a few bits of storage just so it's complete. So I'll chuck a few lanterns just for a bit of lighting. And then with my pots and pans, we'll do a whole corner down there. Bit of a pallet storage there. Get another one here. And we'll just do a very simple thing here. And here. Like I said, we really don't have that much space for something in here, so that's the lumberjack storage. So let's quickly do these 2, and then I think we're done. All right, so we're back, and we've done the interiors. And they're nothing too special, but I had to do them. I didn't have a choice. So as you come into this one, we've just got a little kitchen dining area, and a bit of like a bed storage for the lumberjacks. Like in here, we've just got a little rubbish storage area. And then in this one, I've gone for like a shop vibe. So as you walk in, you've got all these different products. You've got the till. And then as you come into the back room, just some storage onto the docks. But I think we're done with this area. So before we end the video, let's just have a little recap. As we cross the bridge, we can turn left into the wood chopping area where we can follow this path down deforested trees, a little workspace, and off into the forest where we can continue the deforestation. Or we can turn right and come to the sawmill where we've got our awesome tree farm. And obviously here's our entrance. Or we can come down into the little lumberjack village where we've got a house, storage and a little shop. But I think that does us well. But this whole area has been vital for our future plans up there, in which was going to be next episode, but after building this today, I've realized we need a storage room. So who knows, maybe we'll build a big storage room next episode. I just wanted to thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.